Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Allen with Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. Today I got a great video for you guys talking about this next upcoming major winter storm system that's going to be bringing the potential for some significant snowfall across parts of the Midwest before moving its way into the Great Lakes / Ohio Valley region. The system will then take a little jog towards the southeast, impacting parts of the mid-Atlantic, and then riding that east coast, become this nor'easter type storm, bringing the potential for some snowfall to the northeast. After this system, we'll start to see a upper level ridge begin to move on into the region, bringing more stable, warmer, and drier conditions to parts of the central United States before another big, deep upper level trough starts to impact parts of the western U.S. and we'll see this system move out of the southwest United States, transition its way over the Rockies, and we'll see this new low pressure system develop, bringing another chance for some snowfall to parts of the central plains and the upper Midwest. Now, before we could get into today's video, I do want to encourage you guys to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family so we can help make them weather aware before the weather happens. Also, be sure to check us out on social media. You can still send us your weather related photos and videos, and we'd love to share those with you guys in our next and upcoming videos. The links to our social media pages can be found down below in the description, and you can also check us out online at dynamicweatheragency.com for, again, more weather-related content and information. Last but not least, be sure to check out our Patreon page so I can continue to make weather-related videos like this or storm chasing videos like you see down below. And also fund some of the research we have going on here at Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. Again, we have many different packages and tiers for you, our Patreon subscribers, with exclusive content and early access to them and other exclusive perks for them. So be sure to check this out. Again, the link is down below in the description. Now this morning, as we take a look at our current national Doppler radar, for the most part, east of the Rocky Mountain regions, we're not seeing much on radar. We are seeing just a little bit of lake effect snow on Lake Erie this morning and a little bit along the Finger Lakes in New York, with some straggling snow showers up in northern Maine and Maine this morning. But as we move our way west of the Rockies, especially across California, we're still seeing some of that moisture transport with that atmospheric river / Pineapple Express system, bringing some moisture to that area. Still seeing some of that mountain snow conditions continue across the Sierra Nevada mountain region, where in yesterday's video we were talking about some of the blizzard conditions that were going on over there, with some very strong winds, reduced visibility, and some very heavy snowfall of 3 to 5 inches per hour, leading to some significant snowfall accumulations up in the higher elevations of Sierra Nevadas of greater than 30 inches of snow over the last 24 hours. Again, taking a look across like Nevada, Idaho, even into Montana, and even in Colorado, we are seeing some snow conditions again up in the higher elevations of the northern Rockies and the Rocky Mountain region, and even across parts of the Colorado Plateau this morning. So now taking a look at our national forecast. West of the Rocky Mountain regions, we're still expecting to see some mountain snow conditions develop on over there, along with the potential for some snow still across parts of Nevada and Utah. Kind of a weak low pressure system moving on through that region. Heavy flooding across parts of the California coast and even up into Oregon, still with that Pineapple Express and atmospheric river event going on over there, bringing tons of tropical moisture to the region. Now, as we take a look at parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley region, that's where we're going to see that potential major winter storm system begin to move on through with some heavy snow across parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, even into parts of western Ohio. The system is then going to jog its way a little bit towards the southeast, bringing its way towards the mid-Atlantic, where we'll see a new low begin to develop across that region, bringing heavy snowfall to parts of West Virginia, and even parts of Pennsylvania, with the potential of it bringing heavy snowfall across other parts of the East Coast as this storm system rides along that East Coast and moves its way off to the north and to the east. Now, talking about our next upcoming major winter storm system, we're going to be talking about some of the current National Weather Service watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect. Taking a look at the Northeast, we do have some winter weather advisories in purple across parts of Maine, with some of that snow we saw on our current national radar moving on through the region. Again, for Lake Erie and parts of the Finger Lakes in New York, we do have some winter weather advisories along that area for some lake effect snow across that area. As we take a look at west of the Rockies, we do have some winter weather advisories in purple for parts of Nevada, Utah, Colorado, with parts of the Rocky Mountains and parts of the northern Rockies and Montana, and even across that Mongolian Rim and parts of the Colorado Plateau and Arizona. So take a look in California, we do have in those pinks those winter storm warnings, again with that atmospheric river event going on across over there for parts of Sierra Nevada, the Transverse Range, and the Southern Coastal Range. We are seeing some snow conditions across those areas over there. As we take a look across parts of the Midwest, the Great Lakes region, parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, Indiana, and even parts of western Ohio this morning, we do have those indigo colors right there indicating those winter storm watches currently in effect for these regions, affecting places like Cedar Rapids, Chicago, Rockford, Milwaukee, South Bend, Kokomo, parts of northern Indianapolis, and even parts of Lima, Ohio are all within these winter storm watches currently in effect, and we expect to see some advisories and even winter storm warnings possibly issued later on today or even into tomorrow morning. Now, taking a look at our winter storm severity index, I've been talking about this in many videos, but never really actually explained like what all is going into this index. And this index is looking at snow amounts, so how much snow is actually falling, and the rate at which snow is falling. It's also taking into account snow load, the weight of the snow. It's also taking a look at winds on blowing snow, and also winds and snow for the ground blizzard conditions. And it's also looking at the potential for surfaces to become covered in ice and the amount of ice actually accumulating with any potential winter storm system. So as we begin to take a look at our day one winter storm severity index, this is for today, we do have some minor impacts for parts of the upper plains and upper Midwest region today, affecting parts of North Dakota and Minnesota today. As we take a look further to the west of the Rocky Mountain region, still seeing those impacts for parts of the Sierra Nevada mountain region, even across parts of the Mongolian Rim, some of the higher elevations in Nevada today. But as we take a look at tomorrow, looking at day two, you can see those effects across parts of Iowa, northern Indiana, Illinois, into western Ohio and southern Wisconsin, with this major winter storm system as it begins to push its way on through. And then again, as we move into day three with some of that significant snowfall, some of those effects are still going to be lingering around across parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region. But again, like we said, the system's going to take that little bit of a jog to the southeast. We'll start seeing those effects across parts of the mid-Atlantic, as you can see some of those minor and moderate effects for parts of Virginia and West Virginia, and even parts of Maryland with this potential winter storm system before it rides up the East Coast, bringing some impacts to potentially the Northeast. Again, those minor impacts are roughly equating to NWS advisory level criteria. This will primarily cause disruptions to those people who are not prepared for this winter storm system, with a day or two of with minimal recovery time needed after these events. Again, those moderate effects roughly equate to those NWS warning level criteria that we could see potentially across this area, with definite impacts to those with little preparation and perhaps a day or two of recovery time for the snow and ice accumulation to subside. Now, as we take a look at our weather models for this event, taking a look at the European model first, taking a look a little bit further on out, you can see we have some significant snowfall expected according to this model solution across parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, Indiana, into western Ohio. Nice swath of basically 5 to 8 inches of snow with some isolated areas up in there, showing some basically the potential for some 8 to 12 inches of snowfall across that region. According to the European model, again, taking a look at the mid-Atlantic as that new low pressure system begins to develop on the lee side of the Appalachian Mountain region, you can see some of that significant snowfall totals across parts of West Virginia right there. According to the European model solution. Now, as you take a look at the GFS model, less snowfall across parts of Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, some lake effect around the western portion of Lake Michigan. Again, the European model is suggesting some of that significant snowfall with that new low that begins to develop on the lee side of the Appalachian Mountain region, parts of Virginia. But again, as we take a look at the UK Met, the UK Met is favoring more that European model solution. Again, significant snowfall across parts of northern Illinois, Indiana, into western Ohio. All three models still suggesting possibility for some significant snow accumulation across the parts of the mid-Atlantic. As we take a look at the Canadian model, again, the Canadian model suggesting significant snowfall across parts of northern Illinois, a little bit further south into central Indiana, again into western Ohio, suggesting a little bit hints of significant snowfall across parts of Virginia and the mid-Atlantic region. As you take a look at the Germany icon model, the Germany icon model has a little bit of a northern track with some of the snowfall amounts a little bit further north in Illinois and moving its way into southern Wisconsin and even parts of southeastern Minnesota, uncompared to like the UK Met, the Canadian, and the European model, suggesting that track just a little bit further to the south than the Germany icon model. Again, that's something that we'll have to take into consideration when we make our snowfall forecast charts right here. But taking a look at the mid-Atlantic, again, overall consistency between all the models is still pretty good on significant snowfall across the mid-Atlantic. We're still seeing discrepancies across parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley region. Now, as we take a look at the National Weather Service blend of models, again, this is blending multiple models together to come up with a solution. So this is a good way to determine, snowfall forecasts. And again, with those blended model solutions, significant snowfall from Iowa, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, into northwestern Ohio, according to the National Weather Service blend of models. Again, we're starting to see that hint of some significant snowfall across Virginia with this lee side low pressure system developing before becoming that northeaster type storm system that could impact parts of the northeast. As you take a look at the National Weather Service's forecast, though, taking a look across parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, Indiana, nice swath of basically 5 to 8 inches of snow across there. A little bit of lake effect on that western portion of Lake Michigan right there. Again, starting to see them paint some of those, purple values across parts of, Virginia right there as we begin to get into their 72-hour forecast. For some reason, the 72-hour chart was not populating, so this is taking a look at the next 66 hours according to the National Weather Service's gridded forecast system. Now, as we take a look at our in-house model for this next upcoming major winter storm system, again, you can see some of that heavy snow across parts of the western United States, west of the Rocky Mountain region, with some of those mountain snow conditions on over there. You see some significant snowfall in the Cascade Mountain region, still some snow across parts of the Sierra Nevadas, and even across the parts of the Mogollon Rim in Arizona. Now, as we take a closer look, regional look at parts of the, Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley region, and even parts of the Mid-Atlantic, you can see some of that significant snowfall is depicted across these areas. As we take a closer look towards parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, Indiana, and western Ohio, you can see places like Rockford, Ottawa, Chicago, South Bend, Kokomo, Fort Wayne, and Lima, Toledo, all within that area of 5 to 8 inches of snowfall, where they could possibly see some, isolate areas of 8 to 12 inches of snow within this major winter storm system. As you take a look across parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, you can see places like in Virginia and West Virginia, those isolated amounts of 5 to 8 inches of snow expected across parts of the Appalachian Mountain regions, Roanoke, within that, area of 5 to 8 inches of snow within this, major winter storm system that we could potentially see. Now, as we take a look at our hand-drawn forecast for the next 72 hours, kind of mirroring a little bit of that National Weather Service's forecast and even our in-house model, we do have some of that lake enhancement across parts of Lake Michigan. We have that area of 5 to 8 inches plus, again, for those isolated areas that could see, 10 to 12 inches of snowfall within this, major winter storm system, where we could see some enhanced ascent with some, frontogenesis and some 500 millibar vorticity, vortmax moving on through the region that could enhance some showery snowfall across this region. You got that nice big swath of 3 to 5 inches of snow stretching from Iowa all the way into Ohio. Now, you guys are probably wondering, James, you haven't talked much about the Northeast. Well, here you guys go. As you take a look at the European model, the more longer range, past that 72-hour forecast period that we normally take a look at, just so I can start talking about this potential nor'easter type storm system for you guys. But you'll start seeing, we're going to see some discrepancies between weather models as we get out, past that 3, even 5 days, we start seeing discrepancies within weather models. Like I've mentioned in other videos, these weather models are using all these complex mathematical equations, but to make them run better and more efficiently, we simplify those equations, which is going to introduce errors into these models, as you'll start seeing differences in these model solutions. Again, Most of the models are going to be showing possibility for some significant snowfall across parts of the mid-Atlantic, especially across parts of Virginia. And then you can see that low pressure system as it moves across the lee side of the Rockies, move off of the eastern United States, ride that thermal boundary up the east coast, becoming this northeaster type storm system. As we take a look at the European model solution, has most of the snowfall occurring over the water, with the system staying majority off the east coast. But as we take a look at the GFS model system, similar conditions to the European, major snowfall across, parts of Virginia, except for possibility of seeing some of that snowfall moving its way into parts of Pennsylvania, and then again across parts of Maine. The storm system could be impacting, mostly staying again across the Atlantic Ocean region. But as we take a look at our last model solution, I want to show you guys that National Weather's blend of models. Take a look at the difference between this. This model suggesting more snowfall further on the inland side of things, bringing some heavy snow to Maine, even parts of, Vermont, New Hampshire, even into Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, southeastern, New York, and even, parts of eastern Pennsylvania, according to this model solution, as that storm system begins to develop. Like we said, across parts of Virginia, move its way off the coast a little bit, and then ride that thermal boundary, within that region, where it should move its way further to the west, as I think this model solution is more accurate at this time. But again, this is subject to change, with this, as we're looking pretty far out right now within our weather models, 126 hours, according to the National Weather's blend of models. Now, as we take a look at our forecasted accumulated snowfall map for parts of the Northeast, even into parts of the Mid-Atlantic. Now, this forecast is subject to change, as we did mention, as we're starting to look very far out into these forecast models, we're seeing those discrepancies, so we'll have to refine and tune those forecasts as we continue within time. But according to that National Weather Service blend of model solution, kind of what we're kind of going towards right now, we can see that significant snowfall accumulation if the system moves further to the west, track a little bit more inland, as I believe it will just trying to stay along that thermal contrast and moisture boundary within the region. We can see some significant snowfall stretching all the way from Virginia all the way up into Maine, with that nice area of 8 to 12 inches of snow across parts of eastern Pennsylvania, southeastern New York, and even into parts of Connecticut right there. As the system tracks its way a little bit off the coast area, it's going to bring a nice plume of moisture into the region from the Atlantic, even with that Gulf Stream that we have moving on through that region, should enhance some snowfall across that area. Now, as we take a look at what's going on synoptically, looking at the central United States, we got this nice upper level ridge across the area, bringing dry, stable conditions to much of the central United States. Across the western U.S., we got this nice deep upper level trough. You got that area of energy moving across parts of California. The system is going to slowly transition its way towards the north and to the east, as you can see, as it transitions across the Rocky Mountains. You can see that, cold air advection on the backside of that area of energy, and some warm air advection ahead of it. So we got these clashing air masses along that area. We got this nice thermal contrast. The Patterson's rule has undergone, and now we're starting to see some cyclogenesis. You see this closed low pressure system begin to develop as the system moves its way to the north and to the east into the Ohio Valley and Midwest region. Got this nice closed upper level low. See that nice area of vorticity moving through parts of Illinois and Indiana. It's going to enhance ascent across that area where we're going to see that significant snowfall. Up to the north, we get this nice blocking high pressure system that's going to allow the storm system to begin to jog its way to the south and to the east and to the mid-Atlantic. Well, we'll see this kind of Hatteras type low pressure system begin to develop. And the system's going to ride that thermal boundary across the eastern coast, as you'll see this low pressure system ride the east coast, becoming this northeaster type storm system as we continue through time. As you see that closed low begin to develop right there, move its way across the northeast with this potential nor'easter. Right behind the system, again across parts of the central United States, we'll see that nice upper level ridge begin to develop, bringing some dry, stable conditions in for the next couple of days. And then we'll begin to see this next deep upper level trough start impacting parts of the western United States, area of energy moving through that trough axis region right there. And then we'll begin to see this nice area of cyclogenesis begin to develop as you see that closed low over parts of southwestern Kansas with this next low pressure system as it begins to move its way to the north and to the east, bringing that next potential major winter storm system to parts of the upper Midwest. Now, taking a look at the European model solution, 6-hour precipitation type, you can see as that area of energy moves out of California, we'll begin to see that new low pressure system begin to develop across parts of the central plains east of the Rocky Mountain region. You can see that low pressure system, now that snowfall beginning to develop across parts of the Midwest, Ohio Valley region. That upper level low is going to kind of hang out over that region while the surface low begins to develop across parts of, Virginia, with that secondary low pressure system beginning to develop. That's going to become that nor'easter type storm system as the system moves off of the, east coast and begins to ride that thermal boundary across that region, bringing the potential for some, snow across parts of the northeast. Again, this is the European model solution, showing some of that snowfall further to the east off the coast compared to what we are expecting to happen as in the National Weather's blend of model solutions. And then, like we said, some dry conditions and stable conditions behind that low pressure system, that upper level ridge beginning to move into place. And then we'll see that next area of energy begin to develop, transitioning its way across parts of the Rocky Mountains, becoming that new low pressure system. You can see some of that snowfall beginning to impact parts of the central plains up into even the upper Midwest region with this next potential winter storm system. Now, taking a look at our severe weather forecast for the next couple of days, we're not expecting much as in severe thunderstorms. Conditions are going to be quite stable and there's going to be a lack of moisture moving throughout. Now, taking a look at our severe weather forecast for the next couple of days, as you take a look at our forecast chart, we're not forecasting severe thunderstorms over the next couple of days or even through the next week, as conditions are going to be rather marginal for the threat for severe weather across much of the United States. Again, I would like to thank you guys for checking out today's video. Be sure, if you haven't already, to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel for more weather-related information and content like this. Also, be sure to share this video with your friends and family. I am meteorologist James with Dynamic Weather Agency, signing off for today. You guys have a great and wonderful day.